The Ready for a Relationship podcast helps people just like you who find themselves single and alone in their later years get unstuck and break the pattern to move forward and build the loving relationship you expected to have at this point in your life. Discover how to build your relationship with confidence in a fun, easy, loving way so that you are the right person for your right person. And if you enjoy the show and want to share some love, subscribe, rate, review, leave a comment. It all really helps. Here's Suzanne, the host of your show.
Hello, everyone. Suzanne here with another Ready for a Relationship podcast with Shawn. It's the Suzanne and Shawn show again.
Yay. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Today, we're going to talk about, are you suffering from a communication breakdown? How do you know when your partner needs a hug? We're going to talk about communication, folks. His way and her way.
Okay.
You ready, Shawn?
Yeah, I'm ready. And it took me a long time to figure this out that men and women communicate so differently. And there's where we run into problems. It's not understanding.
So you want to play the his way today?
It's the only way I ever play, baby. There's no swinging this way or that way for me. I'm only that way.
All righty. Well, let's start with the icebreaker of, some of you may have heard this before, but I find it is so appropriate. What a woman wants from a relationship. Okay, let me tell you, folks. A woman wants to feel like she's the center of your attention when you're together. She wants to feel loved and supported and heard. And she wants to feel like you're taking her seriously, yet you find her beautiful. You want to touch her. You want to give her flowers, and best, bring ice cream. Okay, so there's a list. There's like 50 things that a woman wants attached to a relationship. Okay, simple. Wouldn't you think that's simple? Maybe. Now, what does a guy want, Shawn?
Well, first off, from a guy's point of view, so let me just tell you that. From a guy's point of view, that's not simple. That's 50 different things. Are you kidding me? A guy's not like that anyway. A guy is so simple. What's a guy want from a relationship? Okay. Show up naked and bring food. We're done. What more could you want?
True story.
I mean, and that's the thing, right? Because I think we tend to complicate things in a lot of ways in our relationships, and the whole communication thing, it's having an understanding of how your partner is, what's important to your partner. Whether it's important to you or not is irrelevant. It's what's important to your partner. When you can get to that point, then you've got some ground to work on, right?
Right. And you know what we're going to discuss today, and what we are currently discussing, is, it occurs to me that I forgot to preface this and say, if you're looking for a relationship, you're in the dating world, to be aware of all of this is extremely important. And if you're in a budding relationship or a long-term relationship, this is important no matter where you're at. Gosh, this type of communication can even be used in your business and your workplace. It's being aware that sometimes women communicate differently than men do.
Okay, and to be clear, to clarify what you said, because you said it can be used in the workplace, etc. Excuse me. It's not just women and men, although in our relationship, that's what we're referring to, because that's our kind of relationship. But in the workplace, just being aware of how your workmates communicate, might be man to man. Maybe they communicate a little differently too. It's being consciously aware of that, right?
Absolutely. So let's get into this, and let's talk about times that I've been upset and mad at you. Oh, I can't imagine why now.
I can't either. I can't either. What's the problem?
But I do know there have been times I've been so upset and angry with you. And I would just like you to share with everybody your old response and your new response. Could you do
Well,
that?
first off, I want to qualify this because there's lots of people that know us and would think you've never been mad at me. Of course not. I mean, what's not to love? Like, come on. Okay, how did I respond and how do I now respond? Well, sometimes, here's the thing. Sometimes when you're upset with me, I have no idea why you're upset. And here's what I learned, okay? I learned it's all an ego thing going on in me, okay? And I think we all have ego in us that's controlling us. But for me, it's like, well, my ego says, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. It's not my fault. I don't know why she's upset. Why is she upset anyway? And my ego says, you know what? Give her some time to cool off and relax. And I go for a walk. Go for a walk, go outside, do something in the yard, come back. And then I find out, oops, that wasn't what she needed because now she's twice as mad.
Oops. Anybody watching the video is going to see the grin on Suzanne's face. That was an oopsie moment for you, Shawn. You left me and I felt abandoned in my time of need.
Right. Okay. So let's clarify that too. It was never just a moment. This went on for a long time in our relationship. It took me years to figure this out, folks. So and ladies, don't divorce him on the first time he does this because he's just a slow learner. Okay. So, give him a chance. And for me, it was getting, when you come to peace with yourself, you can get past the ego, right? And it is the ego that's telling you, I'm not apologizing. I didn't do anything wrong. It's like, we're not in freaking Sunday school here. It's his fault. No, it's her fault. No, that's not us now, folks. We're full-grown adults that have to take responsibility for ourselves, okay? And that's a step one. Until you're ready to take responsibility in a relationship, the relationship's going nowhere. But let's get back to the ego. The ego is the thing that stops you. I don't want to seem like I'm wrong. I don't want to seem like I'm at fault. I don't want to. It's all about me. That's the ego, right? Ego-driven thing. When you can get past that and you realize that, my partner is upset and she's upset for some reason. Maybe I don't know why. Maybe I don't feel like I caused it. But the point is not that. The point is she's upset, which means she needs some support. So let's start with a hug. A big hug. She's fighting you. She's squirming. No, a big hug and give her a kiss and tell her you love her and apologize. I'm sorry, honey. I'm sorry. Let's work this out. What's the issue? Let's work it out. And if you start with a hug and an apology, you can bet you're opening the door for communication. If you're still back at it's not my fault. What do you want to talk about? If you're at that point, forget it. You're going nowhere. So get to a neutral zone. Allow your ego to get out the door. Get to the point, I'm sorry, and here's a hug, and I really mean it. Let's figure this out. If you can get to that neutral point, now you can communicate. If you don't ever get there, you're just going to have a partner that's pissed off at you, period.
And it doesn't get better. It doesn't get better, does it? You know for a fact.
I know in our relationship it doesn't get better. I know that.
It's one of the reasons, one of my marriage rules, relationship rules, is you don't go to bed angry. Because if you don't figure out what's going on and talk it out, it's not better in the morning. It's worse.
Right. It's not better in the morning. That's the thing. And nobody slept good anyway because you're pissed off. You got all that bad energy running in you. So you went to bed, but you never slept well. and you still have to deal with it in the morning. So you know what? Be a big kid, stay up and take care of it. Excuse me.
Right. And by the way, I got to say the new way that you handle it is amazing. So what's the new way you handle it without leaving? without abandoning me?
No, I'm gonna tell them what happened today. This was so funny. So apparently I pissed Suzanne off at some point today.
You did? I already forgot.
and so I can't remember what it was. No, she pissed me off because she said she was micromanaging me. And I'm like, just leave me alone. Don't micromanage me. Again, a man just wants to be able to do it his way. Doesn't matter how it gets done. Just let me do it. I don't need to be managed. And
I did that, folks.
And
I'm a bit of a control freak.
Yeah. And Suzanne's ego got a little in the way. And she says, I'm not apologizing.
No, it didn't.
So I'm not apologizing. And I'm like, oh, come here. Let me give you a hug.
I did say that. I did say I'm not apologizing.
So I give her a hug. And I'm like, oh, I banged my head on your big ego. And needless to say, we both had a big laugh at that point. And if you're laughing, how can you stay mad at each other, right? How can you stay mad at each other? So
he gave me a big hug. He made the funny. And then I said, I'm sorry.
Okay, but what happened then? We got to neutral ground, right?
We did. And I shall endeavor not to micromanage you anymore. Kind of.
Well,
best I can.
You can go through any relationship, like any relationship rules or any relationship mechanics. You got to know you can't be micromanaging anybody because they're going to resent it, right?
It doesn't work that way. They can't be you. They can't do things like you. Nobody can do things like you. Nobody thinks like you. It doesn't work that way.
Right. So that was good. We got over that. So sorry, what was your question? Did I answer your question? I can't remember what your question was.
You more than answered my question. Will you marry me?
Oh, okay. See, fun Friday. Let's go get married.
Yeah. Which, by the way, brings us to my next point that I wanted to make. That is, in a relationship, you need to ask for what you want. No one is a mind reader. They're not your partner is not going to read your mind on what you want. Don't think they will. And ladies, hints don't work for men.
Yes, that's so true. A man cannot take a hint. A man, if you give a man a hint, it's like, whoo, right past him. He has no idea you even said anything. Right? Men don't get it. You need to be more direct than that.
More direct. And I have learned to be more direct. I am already telling Shawn what I want for my birthday and my birthday party and the type of cake I want. And it's 2 months away.
That's true. She does that. And
leave nothing to chance, ladies. Say what you want.
Right. But how nice is that? Because then one, I know what you're expecting and what you would like to have and what you would enjoy. And two, you're not going to be disappointed. You know, it's not a secret. I don't have to figure it out from a hint. It's not, we didn't gamify this thing and make it like, oh, Shawn's got to work out this puzzle to figure out what I want for my birthday. Sure hope he gets it right, because Shawn's not going to do that.
Yeah. And if he doesn't get it right, it means he doesn't care about me.
Oh, there's that. Right.
Suzanne now making funny faces. Often friends, clients, I hear he didn't remember something. He didn't remember the special date. He didn't do what I wanted on Valentine's Day. And I'm like, ladies, hello, let's take some responsibility. You tell him ahead of time, this special date is coming up. Valentine's Day is coming up. It would be really nice if we went out for dinner. Or I'd really like to make you dinner. Or I'd really like you to make me dinner. Or whatever your request is, say it ahead of time. This is coming up. Don't think in your mind, if he remembers, that's a good sign.
Yeah,
Shawn is laughing again. See, that doesn't work.
No, that's not going to work.
No. So let's practice asking for what we want. As the male, Shawn, how do you feel? Do you typically always ask for what you want, or do you do hints?
Well, exactly. It's not going to be, and we're not going to pretend. We're not going to make assumptions. I'm going to assume that you know what I want. No, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to pretend that, oh, you know everything about me, so you'll be okay. No, I'm not going to do that either. We're going to have a conversation, a real conversation where you actually sit down, two grown adults, and you have a conversation. Hey, the weekend's coming up, honey. And guess what? I have Saturday off completely. No clients on Saturday. That gives us 2 days. Would you like to go do something? And let's plan it out. And it's not, oh, I had a weekend off and she didn't plan anything for me and we just blew the weekend. Like, no, this isn't a Hallmark movie where you let all kinds of stupid things derail your relationship. You have a real conversation like real people, right?
Right. I love it.
Yeah. Well, and the sooner you reach that level of maturity in your relationship, the smoother it'll go, right? But until you get there, you're going to be bumping heads a lot. And that's part of like working your way through to have a really long-term relationship, right? You got to get over those bumps. And they're just bumps. You just have to know how to communicate clearly with each other, right?
Right. And I don't think there's anything wrong with, when you're starting to get serious in a relationship, setting down some ground rules. Let's make sure that we always communicate. Let's be clear in saying what we desire to have happen. Let's set some boundaries.
All of those things.
And that in a way is letting go of past stories and past baggage, so that you don't have to say, oh, he did this wrong. I'm going to speak from the woman's point of view. Okay. You don't have to say, oops, he did this wrong. That must mean he doesn't care for me. That's it. We're done. I know this has happened before. Done. And you're tossed away.
That's the killer right there. When you're in a relationship and you say, oh, we're all done because this has happened before. The writing's on the wall. I know what's going to happen now. That's the time to look inward and say, what can I learn from this past experience so that my past doesn't equal my future in my future relationships, and I disband it right here, right now, so I get a better result going forward. Because if you start to see a cycle where it's coming around and it's happening again, it's time to shake that up and take care of that so you don't drag your past into your future with you.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly the point. So stop the cycle and ask for what you desire. Ask for the commitment you want. Ask for how you want to be treated. Nobody is a mind reader. Set the boundaries in the relationship and your expectations. And you both come out winners. Because, hold on, I got to say this, I say what I want, but then he has a chance to say what he wants. And we gotta mesh those two, right?
Right.
Right. Well, this is fabulous.
Okay.
I think this is good. I'm going to say, I need a hug.
Okay.
Or I'm going to give you a hug.
Good.
Okay. So there you have it, folks. Short and sweet. Use your words. communicate.
Wait. I have an example.
Okay.
And I'm not going to share any names here, but a young couple that we know, here's the communication. This was so beautiful. This young lady is only 27 years old. And at 27 years old, she felt she was ready for a serious relationship. And she was dating a young man. He was 30 or 29. And he asked her to be his girlfriend. And she said, yes, but there's a but right there. She says, yes, but I am not in this for another breakup. And the beautiful thing was he had the wherewithal to hear her, to listen to her communication, and understand she was saying she's looking for something serious. This is not so I can have another breakup and go find another guy. So I'm looking for a serious relationship. And in his clarity, he said, good, because I'm not in it for a breakup either. It was a beautiful example of, these are fairly young people that had a clarity of what they wanted. They were ready for a real relationship and they expressed it to each other. So they started off on the same footing, ready to really build a relationship. It was a beautiful thing.
Wow. Ding, 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 ding. Success.
Winner. That's a winner.
Fantastic. So thank you, Shawn, for sharing that.
Okay.
This is a great example. I look forward to hearing what happens with this couple.
Okay.
So everyone, please take note. We have more podcasts for you. We have more information for you. We have a complimentary video that you can watch on relationships. Go to readyforarelationship.com. Have a look around. Have a look at the blogs, the other podcasts, and let us support you however it is possible that we can support you. Send us questions or comments. Delighted to have you on a podcast, work through whatever you want, or just answer your questions in private. Let's all endeavor to have really amazing, beautiful, healthy relationships. Are you ready?
Ready. Happy Friday.
Ready. Happy Friday. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shawn. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Here we are at the end of the podcast, and you just got some Suzanne loving. If you got value out of this podcast and you want to spread some love too, subscribe, rate, review, leave a comment. And who was it that you were thinking about who could also be uplifted by it? Share it with them now. Catch you next time.